Hi, Charger Nation. This is Bradley Robertson, the Assistant Superintendent and Director of Curriculum for the Oxford School District. I would like to take a few minutes to give you an overview of the new Oxford School District online learning system. Full implementation of the online learning system will begin Monday, March 23rd. So students, you have a few days of extended spring break left. First, students and parents, please do not allow the transition to online learning to overwhelm you. We know the system will not be perfect from the onset. The most important thing for all of us is to keep things in perspective during this difficult time and do the very best we can to improve each and every day. As I began developing the new online learning system, I felt it was necessary to begin with the end in mind. Unfortunately, the end of the current crisis we are experiencing in education around our state and country is completely unpredictable. That's why I felt it necessary to build an online learning system that was sustainable long term. We in the Oxford School District are committed to utilizing the online learning system for the remainder of the school year and beyond, if needed, in order to serve our students. I felt it was also necessary to have a clear understanding of the purpose of the Oxford School District online learning system before beginning its development. It may be easiest for me to communicate its intended purpose by telling you what the purpose is not. The purpose of our online learning system is not accountability. While students will be asked to complete assignments, take assessments, or show evidence of learning, the intent is not to use those as a means to fail students. The true intent of the online learning system has a much greater meaning. You may be familiar with the research regarding summer retention as it relates to student learning. It's our goal to curb learning loss caused by this epidemic as much as possible by continuing to provide quality online instruction to our students for the remainder of the school year, regardless of the circumstances. Not providing a quality education for students for the remainder of the year could have a far greater impact on their future well beyond 2019 and 20. It's our goal to set our students up for success for the 2020-21 school year and the rest of their educational journey. In order for our vision for the online learning system to become reality, it will take a concerted effort on all stakeholders that are a part of the Oxford School District. That's students, parents, teachers, administrators, and support staff. We all have important roles to play if we expect the online learning system to work effectively, and I will discuss those roles throughout the rest of the presentation. Research is clear regarding the components of a successful online learning system. First, the system has to be simple for the users. And then secondly, there must be support structures in place to support those users. In order for the online learning system to be simple for the users, the system must be built around a minimal number of technology platforms. OSD students and parents will only be asked to learn 2 educational technology platforms as a part of the online learning system. More details on which technology applications are coming later in the presentation. Secondly, the online learning system must have a human interaction component. In a traditional school setting, students and teachers are spending the majority of the school day interacting with one another through meaningful conversation. That same interaction is a connection point for students and teachers in an online learning environment as well, and is critical to the success of students. We also understand we must be empathetic towards the users to simplify the online learning process. Due to the coronavirus crisis, we know the priorities and responsibilities of some of our students have changed. Parents may have lost their jobs. Older children may be responsible for watching their siblings. We at OSD will be empathetic to all of those situations and more. We can also simplify the learning process for students and parents by adopting the philosophy of less is more. Due to our screen time being limited with students and the reality that some of their priorities may have changed, we must maximize the time we have, giving less work that has more meaning. A teacher loses the majority of control over the learning environment with an online learning system. Therefore, creating schedules and routines are vital. Teachers are expected to set schedules and routines with students through video conferencing sessions. We understand that online learning is an asynchronous learning. A student is not expected to follow his or her traditional class schedule. However, setting aside a time at home each day to complete assigned tasks is very important. Parents, assisting your child in creating a daily schedule is a critical component of the online learning process. And lastly, we can simplify the online learning process by establishing a sense of normalcy for the students in the online environment. We have asked teachers to implement some of the same practices and procedures in their online environment just as they would in their traditional classroom setting. It is important for students to know they are still a part of a class and still in school. Our online learning system offers a strong system of support for all users. Here are a few support structures we have put in place to support our students, parents, and teachers. Guides and how-to documents on how to use our technology platforms can be found on the OSD COVID-19 webpage at www.oxfordsd.org/COVID-19 and by clicking on the orange Parents Students button in the upper left-hand corner. The district is also opening access to the school district Wi-Fi for public use later this week for those in need of the internet to watch teacher videos and complete assignments. Instructional coaches and technicians will be available daily from 9 to 12 at Oxford Middle School to support users with broken devices and users who need additional training on technology applications such as Zoom, Schoology, or Seesaw. Lastly, teachers are expected to hold scheduled office hours daily via Zoom, Schoology, or Seesaw to answer student and parent questions. Now let me explain how the OSD online learning system actually works by breaking it down into its two major components. When designing the system, we knew we needed a mechanism for teachers to deliver instruction and another system which allowed for student-teacher communication regarding assignments, assessments, and evidences of learning. The delivery of instruction will come in two forms. First, teachers are expected to conduct at least one video conferencing session each week on a set schedule to be determined by the school teacher via the Zoom platform. The purpose of the Zoom video conference is for teachers to lay out expectations for the instructional week. It also gives teachers and students a chance to connect. It's particularly important for elementary students to have the ability to see and talk to his or her teacher weekly. Elementary parents, you will receive a link from your child's teacher via text message or email that grants access to the Zoom video conferencing session. While some teachers are practicing with video conferencing this week, the official sessions with students begin on Monday. So please be on the lookout for the link for your child's teachers. Secondary students, the link for your Zoom sessions will be posted in Schoology by each of your teachers. The second method that will be used to deliver instruction is screen recordings. Screen recordings allow teachers to record themselves teaching a lesson by working examples, asking probing questions, and showing common mistakes regarding the standard or standards being taught. Students then have the ability to watch the screen recordings as many times as needed in order to complete the assignment for the lesson. Video conferencing sessions and screen recordings for elementary students can be accessed by going to the OSD COVID-19 webpage at www.oxfordsd.org/COVID-19 and choosing the orange Parent Student button in the upper left-hand corner. Next, choose the middle tab entitled Elementary Teacher Videos and find your child's teacher's name. Recorded video conferencing sessions and screen recordings for secondary students will be housed in the Schoology Learning Management System. Secondary students are very familiar with the workings of the Schoology platform. The other major component of the online learning system is the portal in which students and teachers will use to communicate regarding assignments, assessments, and evidence of learning. Elementary students, that's pre-K through 4, will use a student learning management system called Seesaw. Parents, don't worry. The majority of our elementary students are already familiar with using Seesaw, and classroom teachers will provide more details as time progresses. Elementary parents should receive a text message or email for their child's teacher that contains a Seesaw home access code. The code will be needed so students are allowed to use Seesaw from home. Our secondary students, grades 5 through 12, will use Schoology as the student learning management system. Both of these student management systems allow students and teachers to communicate back and forth regarding assignments, assessments, and evidences of learning. This is the way students will receive assignments from teachers as well as submit assignments for teacher feedback. Once again, we know this process will not be perfect. However, it is a viable method of continuing to educate the students in our community, which is what is most important. Communication is of utmost importance in online learning. Students and parents, please look for daily communication from your teacher via text or email. I encourage students and parents to give feedback to teachers regarding this process so that we may improve our online learning system. We ask for your patience as we navigate through this steep learning curve for us all. We should all look on the bright side. We're fortunate to live in a community that truly values education and has the resources for online learning to even be an option for our teachers and students. More information regarding the Parent-Student Resource page will be coming soon. Go Chargers!